it's great to be here this evening. You really know that you've made it when you get to play at the Pirate Club. And I must admit that when I started the course and I rocked up and I saw Tiny Temper and Denzel Washington and they said they were going to teach me comedy, I was a little bit worried about where my money was going to. But anyway, as I hope you can detect from my dulcet tones, I'm actually from one of Her Majesty's most distant colonies. And I know what you're all thinking, that guy is just far too handsome and far too rugged to be Canadian. But in actual fact, I'm from the convict colony, and I'm from a place called Perth in Western Australia. And what people often say about Perth is that it's the most isolated capital city in the world. And you know, they make a big deal about how isolated we are. But you know what, I don't think it's really that bad. I mean, we've got our next door neighbours down in Adelaide, just down the road 1,700 miles. And you know, if you want to visit relatives up in Darwin, it's just a short trip up the street, you know, 1,900 miles. So long as you've got a car, you're fine in Perth, it's great. So as you would expect, we've got a lot of basically space to ourselves. We've got a lot of dirt and sort of a lot of you know, great grandchildren of convicts from your great country. But anyway, the reason that I moved to London 9 months ago was actually in pursuit of love. My girlfriend had moved over here and I sort of came chasing her, as it were. So I decided before that I moved over that this was the time that I was going to propose to my girlfriend. And so I got on a plane in Perth at 5 o'clock in the morning, dressed in a suit with a black bow tie. I think some of the other passengers thought that I could be sort of like, you know, the bow tie bomber or something. But anyway, so I arrived at Heathrow, and the first thing that I did when I got off the plane was propose to my girlfriend. Well, actually, that's not true technically, because the first thing I did was wait in immigration for about 95 minutes. But after getting through immigration and meeting my beautiful girlfriend, I got down on one knee and I proposed. And she said yes, and it was the greatest day of my life. It was just fantastic. And since then, you know, we've been living together and it's been going really good. And I wondered, you know, when I was handing over that engagement ring, you know, what does the man get when you get engaged? You don't really get anything to show for it. You're sort of just, you know, you're a bit of a lone ranger out there. No one really knows what you're doing. And it got me thinking, you know, like in the UK, obviously, gay people are trying, you know, to fight for the right to get married. And it made me think, you know, if two men were to get engaged, which one of them wears the ring? But I really think that if you met, you know, a gay couple, it would be a real insight to see which one of them was wearing the ring on his hand, because I can guarantee that he's the one that's biting the most pillow. But so people often ask me, what's the key to success in a relationship? I've been going out with my girlfriend for 2.5 years, and I can tell you it's really simple. When it comes to, sorry, I should probably move this other way so you can see. I'm not quite as thin as the microphone, but yeah, I won't hide behind it. No, but when it comes to your sex life, to the male sex life, the key ingredient is really simple, and it's cleaning. And I realised this when I moved in with my girlfriend. Chicks love cleaning. But you don't want to do any kind of cleaning. You want to make sure that you get bang for your buck when you're cleaning, right? You want to make sure the cleaning that you're doing is high visibility. You don't want to be doing any of this sort of mopping the floors or high dusting or, you know, scrubbing the bathroom. I mean, bathrooms, they're wet, they clean themselves. So what I focus on doing is, you know, the sort of hard, you know, the hard grind. I do the vacuuming and, you know, sweeping the floor. And if there's a pigsty, I'll clean it up. But I like to time it. I like to keep it all high visibility. Sort of time it to about 6 or 7 o'clock when my girlfriend's coming home and some of our neighbours, just to make sure she can see that I'm working fucking hard, like, you know, cleaning the place. I mean, if she's not home in time, I just make sure I just leave a little pile of dirt ready to go in the bin. Vacuum cleaner out, you don't want to be putting it in the cupboard. But there's certain times where you really have to bring your A game. And I realised this recently because my girlfriend told me that my future mother-in-law was coming to stay with us for a week. So, you know, this is sort of the audition. She's coming for a week. and I've got to put on a show. And this is when you really need to pull up your socks and perform. And I mean, she turned up, you know, and I was making beds, I was cooking curries, I was fucking vacuuming everywhere. I even went out to the communal area of our, where our apartment is, and I was vacuuming, hoovering away. And the neighbours walked past, and they were looking at me and just thinking, yeah, that guy is definitely going to get some tonight. In actual fact, I'm pretty sure that my mother-in-law-to-be was thinking, yeah, he deserves a decent shag, he is working hard. But it made me think, you know, as a profession, cleaning must be, you know, quite soul-destroying. I mean, you sort of come in after everyone's left, you sort of clandestine, you sneak in the building, you've got to sort of disguise any trace that you were there, put your cleaning equipment away in the cupboard. I mean, fuck that. If I was cleaning your office, you would know that your office has been cleaned. You would turn up the next morning and the dirt would be sitting there ready for you to put in the bin. The vacuum would be out, ready for you to put in the cupboard. I'd even write a little daily schedule, a daily report that would tell you what I'd done to clean up your shit from the night before. If I was a cleaner, you would fucking know that there was cleaning in progress overnight while you were off living the life of luxury. But I think my time's nearly out, but I just want to leave you with one other thing that sort of perplexed me. You often hear people say that, you know, the key to our economy in the future will be high-speed broadband. And I don't know if it's just me, maybe it's just men, but the only thing that I equate with high-speed broadband is pornography. I think the faster the broadband, the more time people waste looking at pornography. And what I'm really concerned about is Britain losing its competitive edge with countries like China. I don't think that in the UK we really value our sperm enough. A lot of it's just going to waste. We could be increasing our population and increasing our efficiency. I mean, China's got it right, you know, one-child policy, they've got a massive firewall, you couldn't get porn through there. There's no one in China wasting their time looking up porn. They're building things, they're getting things done. And in the UK, I think we're just buying more Kleenex tissues to clean up the mess. And that's all I've got. And you've been a fantastic audience, and I hope you have a great night. Thank you.